Questions for Eddie?
Eddie, start with, is it hard to believe this is the final spring? You got, what, 2 practices of spring ball in your college career? Is it hard to believe?
It is. It is very hard to believe because when you come here, you think you have so much time, but really it goes quick. Life goes quick if you don't pay attention. So I'm trying to. This year, I'm trying to come up with a different energy, knowing that like every snap can be my last, and just enjoy the friendships I get, and just enjoy playing for this school.
How are you different as a person and as a player than the day you arrived?
How am I different from a player as a and a person? I mean, big change, I would say. As a person, I think I've done a lot of development. I've grown to be a man here, and it's hard to tell really. It's a lot has changed. It's like 180 really. So, but as a player, let's talk about being player. So, I mean, it's also I feel like I'm climbing towards my real potential here, and I've taken big steps ahead, and I think everything's starting to click more. A game is starting to slow down. I'm being able to do quick decisions on the run, and I think it's just the playing speed. I'm thinking way faster than I was before.
What was the process like becoming Americanized? Was it that much different, or to come here and see what was going on?
Yeah, I mean, when I first came, I mean, all I saw was the movies. I based everything I knew about America based on movies I saw, Hollywood movies, and I came here. People are very friendly and very talkative, and I feel like I've become more Americanized now. I like to talk more and express myself, and enjoying the long summer here. I think I'm becoming more a part of this American society.
The movies give you a life in America.
The movies, I mean, my favorite, as I said before, is the Forrest Gump, my favorite one. And I mean, all the Hollywood movies, all the American movies that I've seen, I've seen Terminator, that's a cool movie, but I mean, it doesn't really reflect the society more. But
How good can this defense be? I mean, you've been a part of 4 of them, so where's this one in comparison to others? Is it a different style, or how good can it be?
I think the previous years, I think we, as a defense, we were playing more of as individuals who were trying to reach their goals. But I think this year and maybe a little last year, you could see that we were becoming a team, and we really care about each other. And I think that's what really is gonna determine those close games, is how can you relate to your teammate, and how is he willing to take that one more extra step, and I think unity, just being comfortable around teammates and having fun, and just winning is more important than individual awards, and individual awards will come as we win. So I think we have huge potential for this year as a defense.
Do you enjoy the process of learning American football, and how much have you progressed? I mean, you spoke about that some, but when you look back on where you were, how much different are you now as a football player?
Now, I would say I focus more on maybe the nuances of the game. I don't maybe like all the techniques, and my job, responsibility. Am I the contain guy? Am I long sticking? And it's more of a nuance and finding a way. How can I make a play through playing my job, and seeing how does the offense, what kind of pass are they sliding each anyway, and just trying to find an edge. I'm think right now I'm more able to find edges that I can work with, rather than just before, when everything was just like, numbers and like everything was like very straightforward, but now I'm able to think outside the box more.
What was last year like for you, just being the first year where you played a lot?
How was my last year? I mean, it was great. You know, it's I did, I think I did good, especially at the end of the year. I did good, but I think it's maybe last year was maybe more of a like, I couldn't believe the spot I was in. I would say like that, and I think this year I'm really, going for it all, and because I feel comfortable now. And I think last year was more of a like, I can't believe I'm here, like starting like power forward level starter, it's. But I think now I'm just here for everything,
Do you feel any sense of pressure at all to be more of a leader because you're one of the veterans and now some of those guys are gone, like you and Sean, things like that? Is it more of a necessity?
Yeah, I feel pressure about being a leader because I worry about how is the room gonna look like next year, and I want the older guys in the room to be able to lead the others next year, and I'm really worried about that, and I'm trying to prepare the other young guys for that leadership role and let them know, sometimes you got to do things that you don't want to do just because it's good for the team.
Is it ever hard to be a leader because you're not from this country? Is it ever something that you feel like you have to do more work as leader than somebody who maybe is not a foreigner?
I mean, yeah, I would say so. And I mean, in our D-line room, I think Sean is our, I would say, like designated leader. He's the more vocal guy, and I would say I'm like more like a enforcer. Like I help enforce everything, and I really like that. That I might not be the guy who talks a lot, but I'm really the guy who likes to enforce things.
You mentioned that winning is more important than winning individual awards, and that's how a team gets together when they understand that. You play probably the one position, certainly on the defense, where you're what's the word? I don't want to keep thinking obsolete, but that's not it. Not noticed as much. You don't make spectacular plays in the middle there. How have you accepted that, and does that make you understand more the idea of how important winning is than awards?
I mean, yeah. I mean, playing boundary tackle is I celebrate when I see other people doing their job, and for me, I can't just try and make plays because I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna lose my responsibility if I go out there, try and do too much, and I just need to do my job and wait for it because the play will come to me. The play will come to me at the end of the day, and I mean I do value rings more than how many tackles I have. I value that memories more, and for me, I'll do anything for the team. I'm that type of person.
Hey, from what I understand, you can work with teach other players at your position now. Maybe you weren't comfortable with that before, and it sounds like you just know more about what you're doing, so you feel free to tell others. When did you start to realize that you knew enough that you could actually teach some other people how to do things or how the coaches want you to do them?
I mean, I think last year that was something that I got more involved with the young guys, and I'm trying to build relationships with the young guys, off the field, outside the stadium, and just give them like, offer a ride home, just talk about their life, how's it going, about girlfriends and stuff like that, and then the same guy, once we're doing like practicing, same guy comes to me, when we pair up and we do drills, and I mean, I know, I have to know every position in a playbook. I need to know every every position, so I can tell everybody what they're doing on the field if they need to know, I mean, and I see a lot of potential in other people, and I hate to see it to go waste. So that's why I like to help other people.
Give us a look at some of those other young defensive linemen. Give us your thoughts on them. Who's good?
Who's good? Zach Keith. I think he's somebody he's slowly putting it all together, because he has that size. He has that long arms. He's like the perfect body type for that field end position, and he plays physical. And I think the game is starting to slow down for him, and I think he's making steps forward. I mean, I like the new guys. I like Elijah. I like Nate. You know, they're working good. And who else did I miss? I mean, yeah, it's a shame, you know, but he's gonna come back, and I see a great potential for him. He's not gonna let him down, you know. He's gonna work, be positive, and you know, it's all gonna work, you know, come together you know.
TJ, he's not necessarily a young guy, but
Yeah.
new to the program.
New to the program, yeah. I love TJ. I mean, I like working with him because he might see things a little different because he's come from a different school, and I'm interested in hearing like how we can see things differently, and you know, we're good at working together.
Eddie, do you know what you want to do after football?
After football, I don't work with business. I'm getting my general business degree here in December, and I might want to do a master's degree and just see where it leads after that, you know.
Curious, you going to stay here in the U.S. or you go back home? You decided yet what you're going to do?
You know, I can't really make any decisions. I think it's something that's I'm gonna find out how it's gonna go at the end. You know, I like this place a lot. I could spend some time here. You know, but I think I'm gonna pursue my football career as long as I can, and then we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, have you, to that end in pursuing football, nowadays there's opportunities to make money playing football here beyond the NFL.
Yeah.
With the UFL, things like that are maybe more opportunities for guys that aren't superstars. Is that something that maybe could intrigue you? Are you aware of that? That wasn't even really as much of the case when you got here.
Yeah, I'm aware of like USFL, but I think some point, you know, it's gonna come down to decision of, you know, how long am I gonna be able to grow in this area, and when should I start really working, you know, a real job, and you know, making some money. And if, you know, if working and playing is gonna make the same amount of money for me, I might take playing because it's more fun. But if I don't see any growth in my football career anymore, you know, I might just hop in that business world.
Do you talk to, or do people call you who are other European football players looking to make this jump and ask for your advice? Do you talk to many other that are coming over?
I do talk to many people. They keep sending me highlight videos, and I like to help them a lot. You know, it's I wanna be able to provide them also the same help I was given when I was in the position, and you know, it's hard for Europeans because no one's gonna come find you. You gotta find, you know, you have to be able to show yourself, you know, on Twitter or internet. And I just tell them to be involved in camps around Europe, and just because those camps will give you exposure, and then that might lead to a summer camp tour in America, and then that might lead to offers. So just working with the best in Europe, you'll be found. I think I would say that.
Besides the way of being found, any other one piece of advice you think has been really good for those that you talk to?
One piece of advice, I would say, I mean, during my journey, when I was trying to get a scholarship, I think I hesitated. You know, I looked in the mirror, I looked at myself like, am I good enough? Am I gonna make it? And at the end of the day, you only need one coach. You only need, one person to find you, and you never know when that's gonna happen. And I didn't know, that I was gonna get that spotlight, and just keep working, because it's a very short window, and the window is gonna close because you age, and just trying to don't quit. You never know when it's gonna hit.
Who was that coach for you? Would that have been Leslie, Coach Leslie?
For my recruiting, yes, Coach Leslie was the person who offered me and found me on Twitter. Yes.
Eddie, last season, you all entered the season with kind of a chip on your shoulder with an edge after being picked 14th in the Big 12. After a 9-win season, do you guys still feel like you have that edge? Still feel like you have something to prove?
Yes, I think for me, I took it personal, and it's still personal, and it doesn't matter if it's a new year, because we're still the same bunch of guys who they voted to be last, and I feel like us Mountaineers, we always been overlooked. They talk about more the things we can't do, we think we can do, and I think it's something, I need to be able to show these guys who came here like this year, and I need to tell, I need to be able to show them like the same passion and attitude towards that number 14, and hopefully they will also be able to get the same attitude towards it.